Wow, and just like that, the plot thickens. Damiris Dantas officially out for the remainder of the 2026 season, ladies and gentlemen, with a torn meniscus. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Shout out to Dantas, though. Speedy recovery to her. This is no slight on Dantas or her injury. Dantas definitely underperformed this season, but we're not talking about that currently right now. This is what we'll be addressing right now. So it came out today from Tony East that just in from the Fever, Damiris Dantas has a torn meniscus in her left knee. She underwent knee surgery yesterday and will miss the remainder of the 2026 season. And you know what, Stephanie? This is the first time I could agree with one of your facial expressions. You can't catch a break. This is the thing about the basketball guys. They go beyond the four lines, Stephanie. And when you have the character of someone like you, karma tends to come back instantly, Stephanie White, she has dangled Caitlin Clark. Her in the front office has dangled Caitlin Clark last year. If you guys don't remember, Caitlin Clark was a day-to-day for about 2 to 3 months straight. Then they came out and said Caitlin Clark is dealing with an ankle injury, which I debunked on this channel numerous times. I'm not done debunking that because there's constantly new fans joining the space that needs to be updated on what's going on. So count on me to bring that situation back up in the future. So if you guys don't know, once again, they lied about Caitlin Clark's injury. They lied about the ankle injury. I'm pretty sure they gaslit Caitlin Clark into thinking that she was coming back. Caitlin was in the ramp up early August and then got ruled out early September. I was like, whoa, a ramp up a month ago. Okay, but then they said it was a setback. Well, this is not a Caitlin Clark ankle video. This is just to show the Indiana Fever and how they manage things and how everything is just so secretive, exclusive as much as Stephanie White calls it inclusive. But let's hear what Stephanie White has to say, man.
Well, certainly we'll miss her in the locker room. I mean, we'll miss her she's a connector and her personality, and she's a great communicator. She's a vet. We'll miss her ability to stretch the floor, on the floor. She can knock down a shot. She can give us a different look from that position as well.
Will she not be with you guys at all the rest of the way with this?
I'm not sure. I think it'll probably depend on what her recovery looks like.
What was the process? And I know you guys said it was precautionary last Wednesday against Connecticut, which you guys on the road trip.
Yep.
Just what was the process of getting that testing and then ultimately?
Yeah, I think the first.
I want to hear that again. So she asked, this is a really good question, I think. She asked something about how was the process like after the win over Connecticut? Because, it's like a 6-day break. So pretty sure they're asking what was going on in that 6-day break.
Last Wednesday against Connecticut process, and I know you guys said it was precautionary last Wednesday against Connecticut, which you guys on the road trip.
Yep.
Wow. So the reporter says Stephanie White, she's bringing up Stephanie White words against her. Shout out to this reporter. That's my language right there, bringing up the receipts. And Stephanie White can't believe it. Oh, yeah, this reporter is fired. You could expect it. And I don't know if that's Chloe Peterson. I don't know who it is. But regardless, though, Stephanie White, during that break, pretty much said it's a precautionary, kind of like what they were saying with Caitlin Clark. Yeah, we're just managing it, day to day. And then she said we're not managing it. Let's move on.
What was the process of getting that testing and then ultimately?
Yeah, I think the first part of the process is just rehab to see if you can minimize symptoms and get stronger and eliminate or some of the effects. And
right.
When you go through rehab and you don't get the desired effects, then you take the next step. And the next step was the surgery consultation and then ultimately the surgery.
Oh, okay. So we knew it was a torn meniscus. Thank you for that. You broke WNBA protocol, right? Because you're supposed to report injuries. But anyway, they just put on the injury report and said left knee. They didn't say torn meniscus. Didn't provide any type of transparency to the fans. Once again, paying fans in this economy. Not giving full transparency to fans, not giving full transparency to the league, unprofessional on both ends, but yet somehow this organization avoids penalization. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with the Indiana Fever, the untouchable. Stephanie White she has a lot of connections. Damiris Dantas injury, there's no transparency there. Caitlin Clark's injury, there's no transparency there. And it's like, at what point do we start holding the Fever front office accountable? At what point do we start holding the Fever front office accountable? Because this is not the only thing. They made signings. They didn't report it. How do you go from out and not with team to just automatically surgery? The fans didn't even know Damiris Dantas had a chance of being out for the remainder of the season. And then just on a random Tuesday in August, we just get the news like, damn, Damiris Dantas is out for the rest of the season. Bad enough you didn't sign Justine Passat. Bad enough you didn't keep Justine Passat, should I say, right? Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Stephanie Metheny.
You call it Stephanie?
Anyways, the Indiana Fever are able to sign a replacement player after the news that Damiris Dantas is being out for the remainder of the season. So J-Mac says, let's see who they will end up signing. The WNBA CBA agreement, my apologies for the flashbang. The WNBA CBA introduces a season-ending injury exemption. This rule grants teams extra salary cap flexibility to sign a replacement player when a roster member suffers a severe season-ending injury. Now, if you guys don't know, the Indiana Fever have about $6,000 left in salary cap. You can't sign a player with that. Obviously, Shatori Walker-Kimbrough is dead money on the books right now because she was let go by the Fever. But they still have to pay her and she's on the books. So with that being said, you did all of this, kept Damiris Dantas injury private, talked about rehabbing a torn meniscus. Can't believe we were talking about that. I'm not no doctor, but I know damn well a torn meniscus is a torn meniscus and you got to handle that right away. But listen, man, the Aces took Justine Passat away from the Fever on July 7th, and in literally less than 2 weeks, Damiris Dantas suffered a torn meniscus. You can't, like, these things write themselves at this point. The front office is a joke. Like I said, with the Ari McDonald situation, not even trying to bring her back, you know, letting her get time to work back into it. She showed she could be a good backup. Just so much incompetence from this front office. But then you got the girl, Michelle Onya. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. It's funny, her first name is Yugon, because it's most likely you're going to be gone as well. She was signed on July 31st, 2026. So Damiris Dantas, as you can see, let me show the status report. On July 18th, Damiris Dantas was not on the injury report. She played on July 17th, right, against the Seattle Storm. She missed the New York Liberty game. But then Damiris Dantas first showed up against the Connecticut Sun on the injury report. As you can see right here, Damiris Dantas out left knee. So right here would have been a perfect opportunity, front office, to say torn meniscus. Give fans transparency. I promise you, you're not losing money by saying Damiris Dantas is out with a torn meniscus. This isn't Caitlin Clark. And even if you do lose money, at least you're being 100% to the fans, to the point where you'll end up getting money regardless, because fans appreciate you being transparent. This is bad business all around, and it's why the fans cannot trust this front office. So Damiris Dantas was out the left knee. And then the Fever went on a road trip. You know, obviously they had a little 6-day break, but you know, the Fever went on a road trip. Damiris Dantas was not traveling with the team. So Stephanie White, remind me, how were they rehabbing Damiris Dantas' torn meniscus? You weren't even there watching hands-on. And then another road game at Portland. Damiris Dantas on the injury report again, not with team, out with a left knee, right? Damiris Dantas again versus the Lynx, out with left knee. So they had all these opportunities to say, hey, she's out with a torn meniscus. Like, it's pretty obvious she's not returning. They could have came out yesterday, because I'm pretty sure Damiris Dantas didn't wake up this morning and say, yeah, I'm going to get surgery done. I'm pretty sure the doctors didn't say, yeah, she needs surgery done today. Pretty sure they've been planned this. They've been scheduled this. And that's when Stephanie White could have at least used the opportunity, or the front office could have used the opportunity to give fans transparency that, hey, Damiris Dantas will be undergoing surgery soon and she's out. Even in these games that's coming up, she's out. They're saying not with team, etc. Like, it is what it is, man. Hiding injuries as long as they can hide it is just embarrassing at this point, man. They could have kept Justine Passat. They dangled Caitlin Clark last year. You can't trust this front office on no front. It's no surprise that they want Kelsey Mitchell to be the face of their franchise. Snake recognizes snake. And Caitlin Clark, this is not the organization for you. I'm sorry, my girl. I know you want to bring a championship to Indiana. I know you want to win where you started, who drafted you. The only solution is if they fire the entire front office and they get rid of the top players on the team. Nobody wants to clean house like that and then start from scratch. It's pretty much, you know, nobody wants to do all of that. So, Caitlin, I urge you, get out of Indiana. You did what you had to do. You broke records the way you broke them. You changed their franchise forever, and they will feel your impact forever, even after you leave. And, yeah, they don't deserve you anymore. But anyways, hit the like button, hit the sub button, hype this video. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one, because there are a bunch of things to talk about as well. Let's start with Angel Reese.